So after yesterday's craziness, we now know for certain that there's going to be a Paradox Terrakion and Paradox Entei. But what are the details that we need to know? Well, for starters, both Walking Wake and Raging Bolt are based on dinosaurs. Raging Bolt is based on a dinosaur known as Brontosaurus, whose name literally means thunder lizard. And Walking Wake is based on theropod dinosaurs. Both of the current existing Paradox mons have dragon typings, and of course their regular previous typings as well. Walking Wake being water and dragon, whilst Raging Bolt being electric and dragon. Which means that of course Entei is going to be fire and dragon. And one of the dinosaurs which come to mind when it comes to fire is Triceratops, as Triceratops have this earthy red colour to them. And I think a Paradox Entei would match perfectly with the Triceratops, especially since Entei is usually seen near volcanoes and ashy earthy environments. The Triceratops has that earthy rock sort of look to it, and seeing how the last design that Bobby Boy made of Raging Bolt became true, I still can't believe that. It wouldn't surprise me if this design that he created of Entei became true as well. It's literally got a very similar build of that to the Triceratops. I imagined Entei to be big and bulky just like Bobby Boy designed. But I do think that Game Freak will implement some sort of weird feature to it, like they did with Raikou where they added that cloud scarf to Raging Bolt. I reckon they'll probably add some sort of volcano to Entei's head or something, seeing as how much they do like to add stuff to Pokemon's heads. Bobby Boy named the Paradox Entei Feral Flare, which is a great name, but I think it'll be called something like Blazing Flare. But let me know in the comment section below what you think it will be called. And for the Terrakion, I recently also shared Cardinal's design of the futuristic beast. And although it's a great design, it's missing one of those weird features once again. Iron Leaves has that spiky sword wing thing on its head and neck, whilst Iron Crown has that glow in the dark hair. Which means that Iron Quake, or whatever Paradox Terrakion is going to be called, is probably going to have some spiky thing on the top of its head or something, because as I said, Game Freak like to put stuff on Pokemon's heads ever since they incorporated that hat thing on Pokemon. That's literally when I realised that Game Freak like heads. Anyways, Paradox Terrakion will of course be Psychic and Rock type. Since Iron Crown is most likely going to be Psychic and Steel, and Iron Leaves is already Psychic and Grass, so it makes sense. Now, in the DLC trailer, both of the new Paradox mons were seen in Area 0. Unfortunately, we didn't get any more clips of the two legendaries just because they probably didn't want to reveal any more information about the two beasts, as I'm thinking that these two creatures might not actually be available as Terra raids. Instead, Game Freak could have just implemented some sort of in-game boss fights during the story of the DLC, hence why we saw them in Area 0. But then again, you could say that we only saw them in Area 0, meaning that they could just be raids once again. And I mention that because I'm wondering how Paradox Entei and Terrakion are going to be introduced. The most logical outcome would be raids, just like they did with Walking Wake and Iron Leaves. They were so random and no one really expected them. But there's one important thing that I haven't mentioned yet, and that is the past and future forms. Now, just because the 4 Paradox legendaries have been designed to suit their predecessors doesn't mean that they will follow the same structure. It could be possible that Terrakion may get a past form and Entei gets a future form. It's unlikely, but it could happen. And the reason I state that is because all of them are version exclusives. So far, all the Violet players are getting the future mons while all the Scarlet players are getting the past mons. So Violet players gain the Swords of Justice line while Scarlet players gain the Beasts. But that could all in fact change. We're just going to have to wait and see. But yeah, I want to know how you guys think Paradox Entei and Paradox Terrakion are going to be introduced. Let me know in the comment section below.